Well, good evening, everyone. Hey, it's Linda Anderson here from Linda Lou Creates. Thanks so much for joining me. I love sharing this some time with you guys on Sunday evenings, and I couldn't wait to share some spring-related cards. How about that? The other day we had weather in the 50s. And then the next day it was in the teens and snowing like crazy. So I was thrilled to be thinking about spring when I made these cards. So I am using, let me show you the stamp set, or the bundle rather, called Daffodil Daydream. And the bundle has the daffodil dies. So I am working on another card. I didn't get it done in time for tonight, but it's another card that I'll try and do one of my surprise lives then in the middle of the week and share with you using those dies to create some beautiful cards, some beautiful daffodils. So these are the cards I wanted to share with you. The thing I wanted to point out was it is essentially the same layout. So I wanted to just show how you can sort of step it up a little bit with using the same layout. It can be one that you have used before, one that you have seen, a card you've received. So don't be afraid to use them again, but you know, change up something, and then it seems to be fresh and different for you then. So all right, so let me bring the card. This one is the first one we're going to make. All right, so for here, you know me, I'm not a huge colorer. I don't know if that's the word I want, but coloring is like not my thing. I enjoy doing it with the blends, but I kind of shy away from stamp sets that look like I have to color them. So you don't have to, though. There is no hard, fast rule that says you have to. Look, all I did was stamp that spray of daffodils using Daffodil Delight on a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Very Vanilla. Perfect. You know, you can make multiples of these if you have to. Now let me come back now to the card base. This is the Pale Papaya, my top folding card, which is my favorite. So that means it's 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. Inside, I stamped those beautiful daffodils again. And then this sentiment, let me bring in, and it comes from Easter Friends. So I wanted to use the Easter sentiment here since I am making Easter cards. All right, so this piece of Very Vanilla, by the way, is also 4 by 5 1/4. So let me just set this off to the side while I bring back in the piece with my image on. Now, for the past 2 months, it ends next Monday, is Celebration. So make sure that, you know, you look into this bundle, this Daffodil Daydream bundle. It's a beauty. And what I'm using here is paper. It's Daffodil Afternoon, free with a $50 purchase. And I'm using the colors for my card that go with this paper. So that's why the Very Vanilla. I know I usually am the basic white kind of gal. So anyway, I put that strip. This is 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. Now it looks like I cut it a little long, so let me just kind of trim this off here at the bottom. I have a habit of doing that. So there we go. Now it's nice and even. I wanted to just, because I felt like that was almost too much vanilla color, so I just have this strip, Pear Pizzazz, and it's just 1/4 of an inch wide, 5 1/4 long. I'm just going to put a string of glue, and let me just put that right down here. I'm going to put it right at the edge of that paper. You can put it anywhere you want. You could have a margin of the paper sticking out if you wanted to. I just chose to put it right along that 1 1/2 inch there. So, all right, tell you what, let's go ahead now and stick this down to our card base. It is Like I said, this is being the very vanilla, and this is very, very simple card then tonight that I have for you. And here we go. I am not done yet. I have Easter blessings that I stamped using Calypso Coral onto a piece of the Pale Papaya, and then I used the double oval punch to be able to cut out this scalloped oval. Couple dimensionals, I know I say a couple, but I use a lot, I know. And as you can see, if you make a mistake, you always have the other side in which to stamp on. So let's go ahead, add this across the top. You could certainly add it across the bottom. I just wanted to fill in some of this empty space here. And then I have the in color jewels that I am going to use my Picket tool and get some added on here. And then we'll be done with this one. Boom, we're done. So pretty simple here in regards to just, you know, 2 colors of ink, some pattern paper, a little bit of cardstock, a stamp, you're good to go. All right. So something you can certainly make multiples of then. All right. Now, remember this layout. It's going to come back again in the next card. So here we go with this one. Now this one, I did obviously do some coloring. So what I have is a card base of Daffodil Delight. Again, the top folding, 4 1/4 by 11. On the inside, the Very Vanilla, stamped with that very same sentiment. I just had a strip of DSP from that free set of paper, that Daffodil Afternoon, that I put inside. Okay, let me set that off to the side. Now here, just change things up a little bit. My, I don't know, favorite size, I guess, that I like to use for the front is 3 3/4 by 5. And then I have a piece of my basic black cardstock, 1/8 of an inch bigger, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Real quick, the same sentiment. This time though, I used that postage stamp punch. I know that's not the right name for it, but that's what I call it. So I stamped in the Flirty Flamingo for that one. Punched it out, popped it on a layer of black. Now this is 1 1/2 by 2 1/8 is what that black measures. Okay. Now I still wanted to have my paper be 1 1/2 inches, but instead of just one piece of paper that's 1 1/2 inches wide, I cut 2 strips. They're each 3/4 of an inch wide. This again is that Daffodil Afternoon DSP. See, this is the side then that I used on the inside, but I liked this where it has the daffodils and daisies on it. Then I thought I would pull out the pink using Flirty Flamingo, 3/4 of an inch wide by 5. Now I stamped, let me bring it back here for you. I stamped this long image then in Flirty Flamingo on the Flirty Flamingo. Okay, now before I get going on that, I just wanted to share how I do my coloring. I know it's not right and wrong. Let me put it that way. Nobody is right on how they do their blends coloring. This is what I do. For the flower, I left it blank so I could just show you. I have the dark and the light of the, wouldn't it be nice if I had it turned around? Of the Daffodil Delight. I'm just going to start with the dark. I am not an expert at this. This is how I like it. Where I think the dark shadows would be. And I feel like the lines on the stamped image itself kind of help you out in that regards. That's where I will put my dark marker. Okay, my blend goes there. Then I'm going to come in with my light, and I just will start to blend it because I don't want that harsh line. Now you'll see I'm kind of going in a circular motion. I'm not filling it in completely. This is how I feel like I can get a better blend, because I'm getting the light into the dark and moving it around. So that's why I'm not getting the harsh line. So now I'll come back, finish filling it in. Don't be afraid of leaving some white space, I'll call it. I know this is vanilla, but you know what I mean. So if you leave some of it uncolored, that's fine. Now, what happens if it's like, oh man, I kind of, did I overblend? I don't know, but I'm not seeing the dark that I want to see inside that daffodil. Come back with the dark and then add that in. And if it's, let it go, or you can come back with your light again and add, get the blend in there. So that's what I'll do. I'll come back with my light and come back in just to kind of soften that up a little bit. Leaves and stems. I have on this one, I have the same with the dark and the light. This is the Mossy Meadow. Now, I don't do a lot of blending on these. They're so thin that I just, especially these stems, I'll just use one color, depending light or dark, you know, whichever. But sometimes I will then come back in and add a little bit of the dark, just because I'm thinking there's probably, where this petal overlaps, there's going to be a little bit of a shadow there. So let me lay down some dark. Let me come in and just sort of blend those two together. And then I'll come all the way up with it. If I don't like that, if I want more dark, a little bit more definition, I can certainly come back in with the dark. So let me do that here. Like I say, this bud looks like it's, you know, overlapping this leaf. So let me just add a little bit of dark here. And now I'm going to come back in. I do just kind of, with the light now, I do sort of just a little color. That's where I get a lot of my blending to happen, is that first color. And then I finish filling it in. So that's how I do mine. And then again, if I want to, I certainly can add more color if I feel like I'm not getting enough dark and contrast that I want. So there we go. All right. So now it's time to put the strips on here. Let me get this out of the way. Keep in mind, it will go through, soak through your paper. And again, if you make a mistake, you always have a second side to use. So, all right, so here are my 3/4 inch strips. Let me get them down. So again, it is the same layout. It is just changed up ever so slightly. That's kind of what's fun. I like doing that sometimes, and seeing what can I change on that card. What can I make different? And this is what I did. I kind of stepped it up by using my blends on this one, and then doing the two strips here that are a little different in size. So, okay, let me add this now. This strip, I'm just going to put it right up against. And now this will adhere down to my black. So remember, this measures 5 by 3 3/4. My black is just 3/8 of an inch, excuse me, 1/8, 1/8 of an inch bigger. And don't go away, because I do have some other cards to share with you. So don't go away. Let me finish this one, and I will show you, give you a sneak peek of those cards. they make use of the free paper, that Daffodil Afternoon. But let me tell you, you can use any pattern paper you have. I just wanted to highlight that paper because I thought it was a really pretty paper. My sentiment is ready to get popped on. I used the black dimensionals on this because they were on my desk. They were the handiest ones. Once again, I'm going to go up where I can sort of fill in some of that space up at the top. And now I'm going to pull out my in color jewels, and let me find my Picket tool. It's got the sticky end to it that I can use to pick up, and I'm going with the Evening Evergreen jewels. And I know I didn't use Evening Evergreen, but it's a dark green, so I thought that would go well having used the Mossy Meadow. All right, so there it is. There is card number 2. So let me bring in the first card. Same layout. Like I said, don't be afraid to use the same layouts. All right, are you ready for then the next sneak peek? I like to provide tutorials to people who place orders with me. And this month's is on the late side, yes. Like I said, there's only one more week left of celebration. But if you do place a $50 order, you can get the paper for free that I am then showcasing these cards with. Now, this is the Daffodil Afternoon paper. I used a sentiment from this stamp set, Happy and Heartfelt, on every card. So every card makes use of that stamp set and the paper. I will have a printable tutorial of all of these cards in which you can then, like I said, use what you've got. Use your own sentiments. Use whatever punches or dies, shapes you have to create these cards. I will just give you the ingredient, the recipe for them. So place any order. Linda Anderson is my name, Stampin' Up, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Place any size of order on my online store, and you will receive a tutorial featuring these cards. Now, to those who have already placed orders with me, thank you so much. And you too will receive a copy of this tutorial. So there's the sneak peek. I love these cards. I really do. Talk about simple, but talk about letting the paper do its work for you. So just a simple sentiment and off you go with that one. So, all right. Hey guys, let me bring in these two that we made today. And I want to say thank you again for joining me. I do enjoy when you guys are with me. I enjoy creating and sharing. So if you ever have any questions regarding Stampin' Up, let me know. Or products if you're interested ever in joining, let me know. I'll be happy to help. In the meantime, you guys have a great week, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye now.